Okay, so this video is to show you what Mission Control is and how to use it. First of all, you need to be running Lion 10.7 or better on your Mac. Secondly, Mission Control is an application which allows you to have multiple desktops, each running their own application. So let's get started by first opening up Mission Control. Now there are many ways to open up Mission Control. It's on the dock, but I prefer to use a keyboard shortcut to open up Spotlight. So you do that by holding down the Command key and pressing the space bar. And then you start typing Mission Control. And very shortly you'll see it is the top hit. So if you just press return at that point, it will open up Mission Control. And as you can see, I have several desktops. Each of them has their own wallpaper assigned to it. And there's also dashboard. Now, the way you would create a new desktop, you might only have one. You would come over here in the top right hand corner, click on the plus sign, and that will create a new desktop. I'm not going to do that because I have enough of them. So once you do that, you can click on the desktop that you want to open up an application with. But before you do that, I would recommend that you go into the System Preferences under Apple, and then click on Mission Control and uncheck this box here where it says automatically rearrange spaces based on most recent use. I don't like that feature. You might, but I would suggest you uncheck it. If you leave it checked, it will rearrange the desktops automatically, and you will wonder what in the heck is going on. So again, I recommend you uncheck that box and then just close that window. So now on this screen here, you can see I don't have any applications open, but let's just say I wanted to open up Mail. So I would come down here to the dock, I would click on Mail, and Mail opens up on this desktop. If I go back to Mission Control, you can see that Mail is open on desktop number 1, and the others, I don't have any applications running on them as yet. So now if I go back to the Mail window, and I did that just by pressing the F3 key on the keyboard, which will also open up Mission Control. So I always want my Mail application to be open on desktop number 1. And the way you do that is you come down to the dock, you click and hold on the icon for Mail, and then go up here to Options. I have Keep in Dock checked, and I have it open at Login checked as well. And down here in the bottom section where it says Assign To, you want to click on this desktop. That will assign Mail to this desktop. And every time you want to get to Mail, you know it's on desktop number 1. So I already have that checked. I'm just going to get out of there. So for instance, say I'm over here on desktop number 3, I want to go check my Mail. I can open up either Mission Control by pressing the F3 key and clicking on desktop number 1, or if I'm on desktop number 3, I can do Control 1 and it will bring me right back to desktop number 1. And on desktop number 2, I like to have Safari open on desktop number 2. So the way I would do that is I can go to desktop number 2 by pressing the F3 key on the keyboard and selecting desktop number 2, and come down here to the dock and open up Safari. I'll just click on it and it opens up on desktop number 2. And if I always want it to open up on desktop number 2, you would do the same thing that we did in Mail. Come down here to the dock, click and hold on the icon for Safari, go up to Options, and I have Keep in Dock checked. I don't have Open at Login because I use other browsers, and I have this desktop selected. So I know that when I open up Safari, no matter when I open it up, it's going to open up on desktop number 2, and I can always find it. So since I have that checked, I'm just going to let that go. So now if I press F3 on the keyboard, you can see on desktop number 1 I have Mail, and on desktop number 2 I have Safari. So if I happen to be down here on desktop number 5 and I want to go to Safari, I can use the control key and the left arrow. It'll bring me back one screen at a time. Or I can press control and the number 2 and it will bring me directly to desktop number 2. So that's keeping it simple. Again, you can use multiple desktops for different applications, and I like to have Mail open on desktop number 1, and I like to have Safari open on desktop number 2, and I always know where they are. So I hope you enjoyed this tip, and I hope you get something out of it, and play around with it a little bit. I think you'll find it very useful.